I'm Leigh with Aspire Advocacy, and today's discussion is going to be around documentation. I get a lot of calls from parents who have complicated histories with their child's school district. Candidly, if things were going perfectly, most of them wouldn't be calling me. Though every once in a while I do get somebody who calls and tells me a success story from a series of events that we put into place with previous IEPs. Documentation is key, and documentation is your friend. If you've watched that interminably long video I did on IEP Golden Rules, what it says is, if it's not written down, it never happened. And that is true of every aspect of IEPs and all of your work around getting things into your child's IEP that need to be there, enforcing what's in the IEP, or making changes to it. Let's say that you've had a reasonably good IEP, you've agreed on everything, you get the document, and of course you've taken it home and read it before you signed it, because one should never sign a contract without reading the entire thing, and most of the time the district doesn't give us a printed copy of the IEP at the end of the meeting. Even if they do, you won't have had a chance to read it. When you get that document, or when you take it home and have the chance to read it, if something is missing from there, immediately email the team and let the team know that it needs to be added to the IEP. I had a case recently where we'd all agreed that the child must have assistive tech, and it had not made it yet into the document. There's no way the parent's going to sign that without that being in there. Now, school admitted it was an oversight and is in the process of adding it, and then once we get that, we'll be able to sign the IEP. The other thing that happens a lot, especially when things can start to get a little, shall we say, interesting or challenging, is that often school administrators or your child's case manager will often pull you aside and have a fairly meaty conversation in the parking lot or over the phone or somewhere or somehow that you don't have documentation. What I recommend that every parent do in that case is to make notes as quickly as you can after that call or after that face-to-face, and then send that person an email saying, "Thank you so much for the discussion we had today. Here are the takeaways I got from that discussion." That makes it part of your child's record. That lets the district know that you are documenting and you do have notes on everything that's happened. Now, they may write you back and say, "Oh, none of that happened." In my experience, that rarely happens, and then it is part of your child's record. Another thing we see quite often is that something that we've all agreed to in the IEP that's supposed to be in the meeting notes isn't there. Meeting notes can be a key part of your child's IEP for any items that aren't covered by the rest of that document. What I recommend that you do, especially before signing the IEP, is to go through the meeting notes and make any corrections that you have. What I tell the parents to do is send the district a copy of, here's what is missing from the meeting notes. Now, sometimes the district will include it in their version of the meeting notes, which unsurprisingly, since they take the meeting notes, often favors their point of view. What you can do is add a parent addendum. If they refuse to incorporate your suggestions into their part of the meeting notes, then you have a parent addendum that they must attach to the IEP. I'd ask for an update of the IEP with the parent addendum, with that included in the page numbers, to make sure it is a copy of it. But usually we don't get too much resistance about the parent addendum to the IEP. Anything important has to be written down. While I very much hope you'll never end up in a serious tussle with the school, your documentation is your proof of what's going on and your record of what's happened to date. Trust me that the school is documenting everything, so to the best of your ability, you want to be doing it as well. Use whatever organization method works for you, whether it's making notes and then printing them out, whether it's Word documents. However you do it, keep it organized, keep it in date order as best you can, and keep it where you can grab it if you need it, because one never knows when one's going to need it. Thanks for listening. If you'd like more information, please give me a call. Happy to discuss this with you further. Thanks.